Good morning.
Reviving this feeling within us is the first step to a first state. Well, if I'm crazy, what a wonderful way to be.
If you think I'm this,
Imagine all the possibilities.
you separate you from
If the whole world
I love so much
and
love me.
crazy, crazy.
I'm happy to do it.
Everyone thinks I'm crazy, but I've got a feeling deep inside they don't like to be just like me. Crazy, 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 crazy.
I have no idea
Wonder what
why anyone can say that. I love you so much.
reality.
I never stop thinking about it. Every day. I love you.
Listen, I'm just trying to find a little affection, that's all.
Dangerous is when the universe pick you and you put on the magic glasses. There's rules that go with them. You can never take them off. You never see things that they're supposed to be. You see things that they are. You can never force nobody else to wear them. So
Step by step to the point from which there is no return. Never again will be capable of love or friendship, or joy of life or laughter, or courage or curiosity or integrity. You will be hollow. We will squeeze you empty, and then we will fill you ourselves with love of being. Now, before we begin your cure, are there any questions you would like to ask?
A friend approached me yesterday, stood here. I say a friend, someone I used to hang about with when I was at school. We were older. We used to go on holidays and hang out, go to big nights and boxing events. And he works in Glasgow University, a lecturer. And how we change as people. Lived in, grown up in the rough parts of Barrhead or the rough parts of Glasgow. And our opinions change. Because money changes us. And we can use money to change people as well. And he was asking how I was, and he does understand the position. In some way he understands that my kids have been taken away and I'm angry. So he says, don't be angry. Don't be so angry. And I asked him a second time, did you just listen to what I said? He said, but we all have to deal with bad things. I mean, just now his neighbours sold the house and they've sold the house back to the council. So you might end up getting some ruffians in there. And if that is some of the life problems we are coping with just now, then obviously the funding and abuse of children via fanatical feminists is nothing to worry about. Don't worry the fact that our Scottish government is funding feminists. A feminist is a woman willing to abuse kids for her own end. It's no longer anything venerable. They don't do it for women's rights. This is not a suffragette movement. And if you look into any of Emmeline Pankhurst and the suffragette movement, it's a controlled movement, like every other thing that's going on right now. And what I heard from my friend was nothing more than Jesuitry. And I'm sick of it. I'm sick of hearing my mates infected with this. The way they speak. I know that any father, any parent in their right mind. Sorry, I can see hi this morning. What happened? I'm a foolish father standing out at Tesco's or any store, whether it's Asda, Lidl or Aldi or Sainsbury's or any of that stuff, whatever there's free Wi-Fi. That's what I'm doing. That's what happened. What happened is Scotland, as a government, funded a charity who's a bitterly feminist, family-wrecking charity called Women's Aid. So Scotland funded that charity. And my ex-partner went to that charity. That charity said, if you want to abduct those children, you can call your ex-partner a rapist. She called me a rapist, and I was taken into custody by Police Scotland. Police Scotland assisted in the abduction of my children. So what happened? The same story that might happen to you very soon. We fund fanatical child abusing women to protect paedophile, fanatical child abusing men. Whether that's in government or big business or anything, that's what's going on right now. That's the closest thing that you can understand. Put it in your head what is going on these days. That's what's happening. We fund the decrepit. We fund the degenerates. We fund the child abusing, paedophile, lowlife. So we have all these wee pretty looking girls mixed up with Eastern Star, Freemasonry, marrying Jesuits. I mean, it's all about the ignorance of children so the beasts can continue to monetize and abuse children. The beasts continue to monetize and abuse. When I was walking away from here yesterday, I'd seen, let's read, you've made an effort, and I can check my eyesight to see if it's working today. Let's see. Aliens fund Women's Aid. Then Women's Aid funds the Catholic cult. Then the Catholic cult funds the Bell Hill teenagers to send fireworks through your windows at 4 AM. Bells Hill teenagers, we get it. What do you mean Bells Hill teenagers? Is that who threw the fireworks at 4 AM? So, this is obviously someone that knows us. Ooh, a great wee person will pin his message. And it's someone that's ignoring child abuse. And I'm seeing this every day. Men don't ignore child abuse. Men don't ignore it. Fathers don't ignore child abuse. Perverted paedophiles ignore child abuse. Now we're funding the women. To take away the conversation from the safety of children, like this foolish little mention here, I don't know if it's male or female. I know it's an it. I know it's a child abuser. I know it's a disgusting little failure of a low-life liar. I know we want to try and steer the subject away from the safety of children because you're paedophile protectors. So, thanks for laying out that wee story, smart person. Lots of little women are funded to abuse kids because lots of paedophiles work in big business in our government. That's what's happening. That's what's happening, and all the way, because it's funded, little parasites like you come on and make these mentions and make it about anything else but the safety of children, make it about anything else but the rights of family, about the rights of fathers who are taking a life every day. I walked round the corner yesterday, I seen a guy from Newcastle sitting drinking, getting drunk, 10:30 in the morning. He had a bag full of ice lollies and Grant's vodka, Bacardi Breezers. I knew he wasn't Scottish because he didn't have Buckfast. Or I knew he wasn't local because it wasn't Buckfast. And I could see trouble in this man's face. I could see trouble in this man's eyes. And I said, why are you here? I went up and spoke to him. He was close to tears because I spoke to him. Because men sit in stairs while it rains and they drink alcohol until they die, and that is so we can point at that man. He's a failure. Look at that failure there that we funded to kill himself. We took away his family. We didn't give him access to his kids. We abused these kids. We funded his ex to assault, abduct and lie. We funded this. But why are you so angry? Why are you such a Jesuit now? Why are you such a Freemasonic sellout now? What's happened to everyone in town where children mean nothing? But let's not talk about paedophiles. As soon as I mentioned paedophiles, he knew within these institutions, you call educational institutions, he told me there was academics in there. I find these people that are now called educated academics are nothing more than stupid funded women that lack wisdom. Wee boys that shouldn't be given positions to teach other children because they don't care about that safety of the child. They don't care about them. And they have little pen pushers come on here who protect paedophiles. And that is females by the dozen protect paedophiles to get little payoffs. They abuse kids to get payoffs. There must be one father on today. There's one like. One like, one subscribe, one father or one parent must be on here. So I take it I'm talking to the usual group of paedophiles, the 99% of paedophiles. You parasites. So we've got the wee man down here. I believe our comments have been stopped again because the little paedophile protectors have always been put on. Pinned in the subject. Women are funded in my hometown called Barhead, Glasgow. They're funded to abuse kids. Paedophiles love that. Paedophiles love the fact that little Eastern Star Freemasons sell out their own children. They abduct their own children. They call their ex-partners rapists. They say that their ex-partner beat them silly because they're funded to say that. They're funded to lie. They're funded to abuse children, and paedophiles stand there behind them, whether they're in education. Education. You can't answer basic questions. You think the people round about you are academically astute. My goodness me, what have we done? What have we done? We're funding women to abuse kids. There's women within that wouldn't abuse kids, that like these wee beautiful women so much they want to be like them. That they allow the abuse, they allow that women to rape and abuse kids, to hold a child hostage for paedophiles, just because he wears a little collar, because he's protected by a Freemasonic club, because he's protected by the Jesuits. And the number of Jesuits, I've seen since childhood what they do. They'll take a man that's, I'm from the rough part of Glasgow, or the rough part of Barhead, they'll stick him in a college or university. They'll give him a wee embossed piece of paper with a gold stamp at the bottom and say that he's some type of teacher. They'll send wee idiot kids into his class that need a lot of help, and more than likely are from one parent families, because we've got these women abusing kids on behalf of paedophiles, and so it continues. We're going round in circles abusing children because men forget how to be men. Men have forgot how to be men. They're quite easy enough to be wee drunken assholes. They're quite easy to be abusive and stupid. They're quite easy to sell out. The same as the woman that's funded to abuse kids through Edinburgh Women's Aid. And I've got little idiots coming on here and asking silly questions. If you want to ask any questions, go to unified.pain@gmail.com. If it's a decent question, ask me on it now. Alright, how you doing? But you have to listen to what I'm telling you. My children were abducted. The government, Scottish Government, funded the charity to abuse and abduct my children. My children have no contact with me now, and they're taught to hate half of who they are simply because I'm their father, because I had children with this Polish woman. She can go around saying anything and abusing kids and saying anything, and men and fathers support that. Stop being so angry. This is not my anger. This is not just my anger, and if it is just me being angry at the child abuse that's so simply pointed out to you, what kind of parent are you? Who are you? Just one of the usual child abusers in the local town. 50 people on, 3 of them have pressed like. That means the vast majority are paedophile protectors. The vast majority are on here to try and disable family, to try and continue the funding for these perverts, these perverted child abusing women. And I'm telling you, Women's Aid is the charity. The specific one was Edinburgh Women's Aid. And I see lots of the little feminists getting angry in the comments. You got to write for your right to party. Excellent, amazing. You're like batty boys, we know. You're like batty boys, we know. I mean, this is. I'm a man and father, and you're a coward. You're a coward. You're a coward. Honestly, children have got no chance if you think you're a man or father. Children have got no chance with the fact that we are funding brutal child abusing women. Children have got no chance when fathers want to steal the information. No, you're angry, and it's not about the fact that this is a legitimate anger over the abuse and funding of the abuse of children through quite clearly a charity called Women's Aid, and quite clearly the Scottish Government, who have been shown as a paedophile protection network for years. Oh, and so let's write a lot of little crappy comments in here. You're a batty boy. Yous are all pen pushing police. Yous are useless. Yous are the people that rape and abuse kids because you were raped and abused as children. And this is the cycle I'm trying to stop as a man and as a father. I'm trying to stop your little abused backside allowing little paedophiles fund these little terrorist women to abuse their generations or new generations of children in the future. And what we have instead is these plastic, overweight, terrible with fake women given jobs in these charities. And the only reason they get paid is because we fund these vile charities. Women's Aid is a vile organisation. It's not a charity. It's a paedophile network. It's a grooming society. It grooms stupid women, and then we can fund these groomed stupid women to abuse kids. And then idiots come on here giving comments like, you're a batty boy, oh, what can we do next? Oh, stop being angry. Lots of stupid things while I'm trying to explain quite clearly that the Scottish Government funds charities to abuse kids, and your missus could be the next child abuser. The guy behind her could be the next paedophile. And I'm coming on every day because my kids are suffering every day because of these funded charities, these funded child abusing networks set up by the Scottish Government, funded by the Scottish Government, has so many little child abusing, paedophile protecting women inside them that children have got no chance. In local towns, every single local town, you've got some silly wee women funded to abuse paedophiles, funded to abduct and destroy family. Hell, it's so easy to point the finger at some. I'm a stupid looking guy. Look, I'm standing here. I've not done my hair. I've fixed myself. I pulled a wee woolly hat off my head. I stuck on some live YouTube algorithm, and I thought, you know what? I really need to make sure that these people out there understand that we are funding the downfall of our society because we're funding feminists who abuse children. I show you this every day. I'm showing you it happening. I can show you the links. It's written in court documents. It's in a higher appellate court in Gorzhov Kapolski. Children are being funded to be abused in Scotland and in the UK. It's a paedophile network. Family is broken and it's designed that way, and we break family simply because it's easier for government to control children that are abused, and we stick them in these colleges and universities where they've got no chance to learn anything. Because whatever passes as academia or education these days is for the infirm or stupid, the broken-minded. And that's a vast majority, and we're breaking more minds, we're breaking our future, we're breaking our children because women are taking coin to abuse them. Women are taking payoffs to abuse kids. Are you seeing what the teachers' union said? They're going to teach them all sorts of shite to which does not help. Nothing that anyone's teaching in school helps anyone. You think these teachers are in any way capable? You know, do you know what a teacher is? A teacher is somebody that can't get a job. Some of you women, 90% are women that can't get a job elsewhere. If they're not going to be teaching our kids, they're going to be standing in Spar selling buckfast to idiots. That's why they're in these charities. They're giving employment to charities. They're getting 40, 50 grand a year to abuse kids. They're being funded to protect the paedophiles inside our council buildings, while men and women in our town turn their backs on child abuse because they're part of the network that's abusing them. You need an idiot like me outside to tell you these things, because I don't care if you're going to throw insults at me. I don't care if you're going to have big, strong, hard men come to fight me. I couldn't care less what you're up to, because most of them walk past and have a giggle anyway, because I know them all. But that doesn't mean we should continue the funding and the abuse, because see, the hard men, those aren't the ones taking payments. They'll smack your face and take what you've got right now if they want something, the hard men here. You can smell how strong their drugs are. And it's not them I'm talking about, it's the wee ones that are from the town. They think they're too good for this town. They're better than you and they're better than your kids. The women can be funded. Let's fund these stupid women. Where can we fund them? Stick them in some feminist group and mix them up with mothers. So some of them that are mothers who might have an ounce of love for their children, we can take that out of them, no bother with the feminist, fanatical, child abusing paedophile protectors. Men who abuse kids stand behind these paedophile protectors. On here, we have got the Scottish Government funding so much hate towards a father. I couldn't care how stupid I looked. I couldn't care whatever you think of me. I'm here for the protection and safety of children. Nothing else. Nothing more, nothing less. And one day you're going to be coming and you're going to go to Unified Pain. You'll have to speak to me about this. Because we have to end this destruction of our society. We need to end this, and we end it only by stopping the funding of the abuse of children. Do you not see that? You and your wee thick mind? Oh, you're so angry. No, you're abusing kids and it's funded. You're ignoring child abuse and it's funded. I've shown you where they've pointed out in court documents for years, and all we have in here is little brain-dead paedophile protectors. People that want to cause upset for family, cause upset for children, because see, if you cause upset for our future, then that end up might causing more and more and more, and it becomes intergenerational abuse, because the abused becomes the abuser, and that's who I'm dealing with right now. You are here because you failed your children. Of course I failed my children, and I'm here because you failed your children, and I'm here because lots of these people walking by not listening are taking money to continue the failure of our children, and it's going to be funded, and it's funded by little Jesuit pussies like you that are going out their way to protect paedophiles, because you're, at least if you're not a paedophile sympathiser, you're a child abusing parasite, and I will knock you out, bring you to the ground and make sure you suffer. The point I'm here is fathers will have to stand up. The mothers, the little 2% of mothers, the tiny percentage that don't take payoffs or abuse kids, and I'm telling you, those are normally not see the pretty women in town, oh, I've got this new designer jacket. No, you're a wee feminist Eastern Star child abusing scumbag. Not any you're going to help the rights of children. You're asking me to read out some of these comments. Don't let yourself get abused. We're funding the abuse and downfall of family and children. You maniacs. I mean, when we're dealing with the educated and the academic levels being complete fools, what chance do our children have? They're actually paedophiles within our universities and colleges. Scotland was the greatest in the world. Now we're the greatest at causing the abuse. We're the greatest at abusing kids. We're the greatest at bringing down family. And we can point out the Scottish Government funded this charity that abuses these kids. If you want to point out all day it's because I made mistakes and I'm a crappy father, feel free. I hear that stuff all the time. You make mistakes, you're a crappy dad. I know that. Maybe she wouldn't have abducted my children or get funded to abduct my children. Maybe she would never be given the money by a funded Scottish charity. But what happens now? Women, supposed mothers, giggle at child abuse. They walk by and they giggle. I'm having a wee giggle at you talking about child abuse. I'm going to send you a hate message on YouTube because I'm lying in bed having a fiddle. Or I'm at work and I'm paid by the police. And I'm going to stalk you and call you names because you're a bad dad. We're not going to address the fact that children are being abused and funded by you, by your charity and by your government. And it's all by design to break up family. So your children don't feel safe. And believe me, when your children don't feel safe around about these funded feminist boots, the funded feminist paedophile protectors, and I can point out they're called Women's Aid. Women's Aid, they abuse children. Women's Aid, Edinburgh Women's Aid, funded charity. They wrote a story to call me a rapist. And you know what? Women make faces at me. Women make faces at me because I'm out here trying to protect children and say, listen, we should not fund any women to call any man a rapist. Never. Never. And that's what we're doing. And you know what? Women still make faces. How dare you speak about a woman calling you a rapist? How dare you? You might have been a rapist, so she had the right to call you that. She didn't have the right to have the funding from a charity. She doesn't have the right to have me arrested in the maximum law, innocent until proven guilty. Scotland, the Scottish Police Scotland done nothing to assist, to help, apart from the assist the abuser. And what I've got here is more child abusers coming through, ranting about this outside a Tesco. I had it last week, ranting about this outside an Asda, ranting at this outside a Foundry, ranting at this outside an Aldi. I'm ranting about this wherever I want because every morning I wake up I don't get to know if my children are safe because of the story I've just told you. We fund child abuse and paedophile protecting women. Your council is filled with paedophile protectors, if not just the paedophiles themselves, and we need to fund these women to protect the paedophile. And we're going to have to sit and call you a name. Why don't you come up and speak to me so I can show you the funding, so I can show you the details, so I can show you that you know yourself, children have got no safety. When we fund a fanatical boot feminist, when we fund a woman to be dangerous and abuse kids. When I was a child, the first person I would go to if I felt unsafe would have been a woman, would have been that woman. Oh, I need to go, that woman might help me. But now we're funding that woman to hurt that child. We're funding it. I'm showing you the women, I'm telling you the charity, I'm showing you Scotland assisted in the abduction and abuse, and you want to call me names and tell me, wait a minute, let's talk about the location he's speaking this at. Listen, I'm at a location where there's more people going to come in and out of this building in my hometown so they get to see me. Because no matter where I stand, I'm in my hometown and children should be protected in your hometown and not just mine. Mothers shouldn't be funded to abuse children. In fact, why would I say mothers? Feminist boots. It's difficult to find a mother these days. Hang on, over 100 people, 8 likes. How many mothers are there? Not very many of you. How many fathers are there? 8 of you, it seems. Hundreds of people watching this. Why would you bother watching a guy outside Tesco? Do you know why? Because I'm crying about my kids being abused by the funding the Scottish Government gave to a charity. People don't have any idea what it's like to wake up every single day and never know the safety of your children while you know that your children was abducted by a woman that was funded by the country that you live in. I'm supposed to pay tax and everything else in this country. I've funded the war, I've funded the abuse, and I'm asking you to stop it. Vote we are. Don't pay any taxes to these scumbags. Don't pay. I mean, every one of our police right now, they should be coming and speaking about finding a way to change things here. Not finding a way to make things worse. Not having, I mean, there's 1,000 perverts on here that don't care. It's not the NSTFU. Children are being abused and you make it about anything else because you're paedophile protectors. Children are being abused because we fund the abuse, and you as an adult Especially if you're a wee woman, you'll take money and you'll protect paedophiles. You'll protect people that hurt and kill children. It's the only way you can actually fund these women, because the women are at this point, they're so brain dead, it's all about, oh, what he's saying's making me angry and it's making me upset. What I'm saying has to be listened to. What I'm saying must be listened to, because the Scottish Government are funding charities to abuse children, and women are turning their back on family. Women are turning their back on children. They're not just turning their back, they're abusing the children, because they hate the idea that a child might get to be in the centre of attention, and it takes away the centre of attention from the little abusive woman. That doesn't mean that women don't walk past and say, do you know what? We do need to speak about this. We do need to fix these things. We do need to address these funded charities where people pretend to be kind when really they're conniving, child abusing parasites. Should I go and stand outside Pound Stretcher? You want me to read your big message? Or is that for everyone else but me? In 2017, I get custody of my children because they were neglected mentally and physically. Wow. My son has autism and a damaged brain, and due to being left on his back, my kids are safe now thanks to me. Good for you. His wife accused him of aggression. He denies it. Then proceeds to come online and offer people for a fight outside Lidl. Exactly. That's right. As a father, knowing now that your children aren't safe and knowing that we're protecting the predators and paedophiles, that's right. If you are going out your way to make children feel uneasy, fathers, mothers feel uneasy, I'll come after you. I know what it's like every day to wake up and not know the safety of my children, because little parasites like you makes your children are abused. Little parasites and predators like you come on and talk about aggression. Children are being funded to be abused. Yes, I'm going to be aggressive. If I see you face to face and I have to get through the story that you've just given to me on here, then I know you're not a parent. I know you're not a mother or father. Everything's getting done on here live anyway.
No, that's absolutely fine. It's just to see if you could move away, because there's a lot of customers are complaining now and every time I walk past.
No, they've got the right to. They've got the right to complain.
Yeah, no,
and I've got the right to speak about what I'm speaking about, which
freedom
is
of speech and all that.
which is the abuse of children in this area. They don't like it because we have the charity in this area called Women's Aid. They're funded, and they're funded.
I'm not really interested.
I know, but this is the. You should be interested. If you're a man and father, and you're coming out here and you're telling me about women complaining. I'm allowed to raise my voice. If you get upset at this raised voice, you can go and phone whoever, my friend. I'm here to speak.
Can you please move off it if you're going to shout and scream and annoy customers? It's a bit upsetting for some people.
Right, you're going to have to. This is a place that I can come here freely. Like this is. It's,
yeah, but if the customers complain, so I've actually politely please move away.
Yeah. Who's complained?
Customers have complained.
Let's show the customer. Let's get the police, because I mean, if customers complain, it's not my fault that their feelings. It's not my fault their feelings are hurt.
I'm not interested.
I know you're not interested.
I'm just trying to do my job, mate, and this is the last thing
Listen,
I need.
it's the last thing you need. Listen, my children were abducted because of the charities and the people that are funded to abuse kids.
I'm really sorry to hear that, but
I'm going to continue speaking then.
What is the need?
What is the need? So people here, like the more these people get offended, the more.
Some people have been a bit upset, mate.
I couldn't care less if people are not.
Okay.
Listen, if people are offended because children are being abused and a man's telling it.
It's a Friday morning.
Listen, I don't care, but every morning I wake up, my children have been taken from my house in bed, right? So it's not a case of.
I understand. I'll go for your story, mate. That's fine.
Because you're not interested. You just said a second ago you're not interested.
I'm
but
not
you're interested. You're interested in.
Just asked you a question.
Phone the police then. Go and make a
Why are you
complaint.
being so irate, mate?
Because my children were abducted and the people in here being funded, the people making complaints,
Tesco.
Listen, you're the one, you've come out from Tesco, right?
Yes,
this is.
I'm the duty manager in here today.
That's great that you're the duty manager, my
You can
friend.
stop every time you turn around, you're trying to get us on that. What choice you got? Don't need to be recording, mate.
It's not about recording, it's live right
I
now.
know, I don't. Well, I'd prefer not to be. It's just a question, mate. Stop turning that round.
This
please.
is, but this is the general public. This is a
I
public
get
area,
it, but
and I
you're
know
also
it's
on
like
Tesco's property,
it doesn't matter if it's Tesco. It's a publicly accessible area. It's for anyone in the public. And I know I don't need to. And I'm going to respectively reject that.
And respectively, can you just please leave, mate?
No, mate, because I'm here
What's the
because I'm going to
difference between
continually
standing
speak
here and down
about
there?
fathers' rights and children,
Okay, I
right?
get it, I
Every day.
understand it, mate.
You don't make faces like that,
No,
right?
I
Just go way
understand
back
it.
in and phone the police if you get any complaints.
Stop doing that, mate.
Listen, you have to take accountability the same as all of us. If you're going to come
I've
to your
got two
father
children myself.
and you're
I've
going
got
to
two
go,
kids.
me, I've got 2 kids and we're abducted. You could be in the same position standing outside a shop pretty soon. Listen,
no, I
mate.
won't, 'cause I've got better things to do with my time, mate.
What if
So,
your children are abused and abducted? You've got better things to do with your time. What does that mean?
What
do
are
you
you
mean?
even on about, mate? Just boost.
Because-
You see, the bollards just stand at the other side of it.
No,
That's it.
no.
Why?
Because this is where I'm standing. This is a
This is where you're
publicly
standing.
accessible area.
What is the point?
I've just explained why, but you don't want to listen. You're telling me that far, obviously not.
Well, I'm a father, I can take wins, mate.
Right.
Do you want to see a photo of them?
That would be nice to.
No, I'm not doing that. You've been difficult, so no. What's the point, mate? So please just walk away.
No,
Simple
you're
as-
supposed to be a duty manager, but you're taking the words of women and men walking in here with a complaint and see
And I've
whether
walked
they're
in
offended.
here.
I don't care if they're
And
offended,
I've
my
walked
friend.
in here and
I
I
don't
understand
care.
why.
I don't care if
They're just shouting and moaning for what? Just
for the
see
protection of
bollards.
children. You fool.
Step
So
back,
on
mate.
you go. Right, phone
Take
the
a
police
step
then.
back.
Phone the police then.
Don't-
Everything's here.
Don't think about it.
Don't think about what.
You came too
Don't
close
think
to me
about
there,
what?
mate. You came too close to
Don't
me there.
think
So
about
just
what?
keep your distance, pal.
You go take yourself
Aye.
and I've got no listen, there's no need to shout at him. He's not the problem. That guy
I know he's not the problem.
But don't ever go at him.
What? He's coming out telling me to move. I've got the right to be here.
Walked in there,
I've got the right to be here.
and this is bad shouting. As a staff employee, he's got the right to go out. You don't need to stand him.
Oh, listen, I'm only telling him that I've got the right to still be here, so you may as well move on and do whatever next.
Lost him, everybody.
Huh?
Why are you chatting? Lost him?
Because my children were abducted and abused by this town,
But
right?
that wasn't him.
I'm not saying it was him, I'm letting people know. I don't care if it hurts your feelings. You're either going to have to leave, you're going to have to
It's
go.
not about him. I've got children as well. But this man
Great,
has
so
done nothing to
yeah,
you.
I hope you go there and go have a nice time with him. Huh?
This man has done nothing to you.
And what he's come out and he came out and he told me to leave. Now you're joining in. Why are you standing there having an opinion?
Why are you being aggressive with this man?
Huh?
He's done nothing to you.
Have a lovely day then.
That's good, but he's
Have
done
a lovely
nothing to
day.
you. Oh my, I mean, yeah, he's putting it across, but he doesn't have to be aggressive, really. See what
Where's
he's
the
done?
aggression?
Yeah, I've been aggressive, but
What are you?
yeah, I've been
You're coming out causing a fight with a man you don't know in a situation you don't understand.
You're causing a fight with this man.
That man was sent out by customers who made a complaint. He's telling me to move. I'm telling him no.
That's fine, but you don't have to do it. Just say no and that's it.
I know, but he's staying here and he's saying I'm getting in his face. Just walk back in. Walk back in. Walk back in. Walk back in. You're like a silly wee boy saying don't tell me what to do. I'm here talking
Mate, see if your
about...
wings have been abducted. See if your wings have been abducted.
I'm
I'd be
asking
telling
him to walk
somebody,
away.
I wouldn't be storing there on a phone on a live. I'd be going out there and finding what's happened to them rather than sitting doing this, mate. Call yourself a father.
Hang my head in shame. We have the young group protecting offended little women, causing trouble, pretending he's a father when he's nothing more than an employee following orders. He's an employee following orders. He's coming back out to cause more of a fight now.
I'm not arguing with you. I'm not arguing with you. Just turn your phone away and I'll show you something. You're telling me I'm not a father. I've got 2 kids right there, mate. Both my kids. So, the thing is...
Fathers don't act like that.
Neither
Fathers
do they.
protect their kids.
So how's you been abducted then?
Because the charity was funded by the Scottish Government to fund, the charity was funded, and we guys like you aren't fathers.
That's on you.
Be a father one day, grow up. If this happens to you, you've got me to turn to. If this happens to you, you've got me to turn to.
If your wings have been abducted, go get them. What sort of father would leave them? You, shocking.
Okay? I'm a shocking father. I left my children. Now, this is a duty manager that's coming out and he's very angry and upset because I'm talking about the funding that takes place in our local town. The funding, a charity called Women's Aid, the funding comes through the Scottish Government. Now, I'm aware every one of these, because every day I get the same thing. Men and women are going to get upset because I'm talking about what we fund. Now, if there's lots of wee women in here and they're funded They don't want to lose that funding. So what they do, they'll go in and they'll make a complaint to the manager and say, manager, a man's saying stuff out there and it's hurting my feelings. Can you go out and move that man? Because he hurt my feelings. I know I'm an adult, but as an adult, I don't want to hear what that man's saying. So then he walks back inside. He wants to cause upset because that's what we want to do. We don't want children to feel protected or safe. Now I'm just waiting for the police to come along. Now I want the police to come along after this. And this is only going to make me come here more often, and speak loudly about this, and go to more places, because I see that the funded little feminist groups, when a woman is funded to be abusive, she can go in any store, get angry, get the duty manager or manager to come out, and then they will be the complainant on behalf, because he can come out and say he's a father because he's got 2 kids. He can then blame me for being a crappy father, the same way as every person on here can. I'm aggressive, I'm a crappy father, I'm everything wrong in this world. I'm every single thing wrong in this world. But as soon as you find out that your children were abducted because the woman that you loved was funded to call you a rapist and took them away, then you might be standing with me one of these days. You might be standing beside me and saying, do you know what, my friend, if you come up to me and tell me to stop speaking because I've hurt a wee woman's feelings, the answer is no. I'm not going to stop speaking because I've hurt some wee feminist feelings. I'm going to continue to speak if I hurt that feminist feelings, because one day she's going to stop taking the money. You, as a woman, a feminist, is going to stop taking the money, and you're going to help children to feel safe. And if you want to tell me I don't have anything to do to make my children feel safe and I should be away in Poland beside that, believe me, I know that. I've asked many people to give me some kind of assistance to get to Poland, but you're placed in a position where little boys like this that will come out and they'll make the complaints on behalf of violent feminist women. So violent feminist women who have been funded to continue the abuse, and they're funded in places like Women's Aid, down at the Foundry, and all of these places. So any man can come out and tell me to move. Anyone. Send the team of people out. Send the police across to me. Because Police Scotland assisted in the abduction. Police Scotland assisted in the abduction of my children. So a wee guy can come out now. He's away back in there all very angry because he's no managed to move me on. I didn't go behind the bollards. And the wee women who are funded to make the complaints and protect paedophiles, they're the ones that are still going to have their backs turned for a father. They turn their backs on a father, they turn their backs on their children, and they abuse their children. Because we guys like that will come out and say stupid things to try and make you stop talking. Stop talking, you're a crap dad, because I'm a good dad, because I work in pencils. These women are all very angry, and we don't want these feminist child abusers to be angry. Let's make them... Exactly. So there's women inside Edinburgh Women's Aid, there's women inside East Renfrewshire Women's Aid, Cumbernauld Women's Aid, and they're funded to act like this. Now in every one of these towns, Asda's and Tesco's and Lidl's and Aldi's, you're going to have little feminist women that are funded by these women's aids all through the UK, all throughout the UK, and they're all funded, and if they make complaints and you're a father trying to protect children, you've got no chance, because you're going to have wee boys coming out and try and move you on and try and protect paedophile protectors. Wee boys protecting women that are funded to abuse kids. And I'm not just saying this nefariously using false statements. My ex-partner was funded to abduct my children. My ex-partner was funded, and she was given a story by Women's Aid to call me a rapist and a woman beater. I'm not a rapist or a woman beater. That ruined my life. It ruined everything about my life, and it allowed her to abduct my children. It meant that all these wee boys that hear the stories, no, but you're upset. You're upset, you're angry, you need to stop the aggression. We're funding child abuse. Women sit and giggle when you point out that the funding's there for these Women's Aid. Women laugh at that. Women laugh at the abuse of children. I'm actually looking at wee girls giggling at it when I speak about the funding of a feminist charity, and more than likely they're part of Women's Aid. Like the Women's Aid, the people that get paid from Women's Aid will walk in here, they'll make a complaint to the boss, and that boss will have to come out and tell me off. Now good luck telling me off. I did get reminded it's Friday morning. I did get reminded that I'm talking nonsense, hurting all these people's feelings. I really hope that wee guy doesn't get through this with his children. I've seen the picture of these kids on his phone. It's just the silly wee boys in this area just now. They'll fall for these violent feminist nonce routines. The wee woman plays the victim. The wee child abusing funded feminist plays the victim. She can go inside and make a complaint, and then out comes the big man going to protect them. Fathers, mothers, you need to go out and speak. You need to go out and speak about this. I'm not doing a very good job, but I'm not paid to do a very good job. I'm not looking to do a very good job. I'm looking for that woman that's willing to take money to abuse her kids, not to do it. For that woman that's got a friend that's willing to take her kids and run away to another country and call the father a rapist. I want a woman to step in and go, do you know what? Please don't take those kids away from their father. Please don't call that man a rapist. You loved that man for a few years. What's happened now? I want that beautiful woman to stand up and be a mother and stand in and go, we should stop doing this. You know what? I know that she was funded to take the kids away from him. I know she was funded and a story was written to call him a rapist. I can understand why he's angry, but it doesn't mean that the women walking around are going to hear selected parts of what I'm speaking about, and the selected parts of what I'm speaking about is going to hurt their wee feelings, because I've got my own family members part of this. I've got women in my family, their feelings get hurt all the time when I speak about this. The wee feminist men, the little, like my brothers, my actual brothers, the little effeminate boys, they'll stand and they'll go against the story. No, it's because you're a drunken alcoholic, drug addict, failure of a father, and I'm a big, strong, great man. That's why that you've got this crappy life. Besides all of that, children need to be protected by their fathers and mothers. That means that we don't fund women to abuse them. That means that we look into the corporate state that we've got in our councils. We no longer fund child abusing, feminist, violent women and women's aid, because women walk about shaking their head when my two kids were taken from me by this funded charity. Women need to wake up to what's going on. Fathers need to wake up and stop protecting violent women. Women need to take accountability for their abusive actions and failure of being feminine and mothers. You've failed at being feminine, you've failed at being mothers, you've failed every day. The same as I've failed as a father. I've failed in every way as a father. Some wee guy went and told me, so it's obviously true. I believe him, I should be in Poland, I should be where they are. I shouldn't be standing outside Tesco's. Hit the like if you don't think I should be outside Tesco's talking this nonsense. But this nonsense is something you need to speak about. This nonsense is something you need to address. You need to be speaking about this if you're a mother or a father. If you've got any children in any way you care for that child, you need to be speaking about this. This guy clearly needs some help. Clearly, we haven't got the bigger picture. Clearly, this guy's clearly. You see the stupidity that we have with a little effeminate boys. So many little effeminate boys. The messages pulled out by the police and the learned people in our society is nothing more than paedophile protection. The words pouring out are nothing more than paedophile protectors' words. I'm starting to find it difficult to figure out the difference between lots of these wee men and lots of these wee men boys. There'll come a point where they're going to have to protect children rather than... I mean, that's the security services these days. They don't provide security for anyone, but we foul-mouthed feminists, that's what we protect. Foul-mouthed child abusers. Walking about puffing electronic fags all day. I'm here working, this is me working. We've brought ourselves to this point where you need an idiot like me to stand and tell you what's going on. You need someone like me. Here like a nutty professor today. He had autism because of you. Islam, own your women now. I have no clue what's going on here. Stop abusing children. You are the abuser. Good morning from Ireland, pal. Good morning. These are false allegations. He wouldn't harm a fly. You are the Daisy. You are the abuser, buddy. This is from abusing women. Stop abusing your family. Save the Scottish kids. Point proven. The kids are safe away from him. Get out of public, dude. Stay away from children. He's a nut job. They're trying to silence you. They're trying to silence you. If you're a mother or a father, if you stand up for the rights of children, if in any way you show you're willing to stand against a violent, abusive system, well done, mate. Joe.
Who are you on live?
YouTube.
What's your live name?
UPain, Unified Pain. What's your name? What's your name? Cheers, mate. A group of boys watching via van. I get it. You see an old, white-haired, foolish-looking man willing to stand out in Tesco's in the bitter cold, blowing winds. He has no phone, he can't afford credit, he can't afford food. He was supposed to have been some useful businessman in the past. He was supposed to be a decent man in the past. But things happened and made him turn into whatever this is. I don't know what this is, but I can see that the violent feminist groups of women are still there. I can see the one or two mothers still there, one or two fathers. There'll come a time where if you become a father, you're going to have to go out and you're going to have to stand up for the rights of children. That's if you're not a predator or a paedophile. I'm aware the vast majority in our councils and our buildings and our big businesses and the funded feminist charities there to protect the paedophiles. Unified Pain, Parental Alienation International Network. Parental alienation is where you take a child, they know they've got two parents and they're it's like I'm half my mum, I'm half my dad. I'm like them, I'm part of their genetic makeup. And then one of those two, that effeminate wee boy, or that nasty wee feminist girl, abuses the kid and teaches the child to hate half of who they are. How do they teach them to hate half of who they are? Well, they can abduct the child, they can abuse the child, they can simply say that half of who the child is nothing more than scum, and that's generally what happens. But we're funding we're funding this. Women's Aid is a funded charity. My ex-partner went to Edinburgh Women's Aid and they wrote the story. Whether or not you want to say that, my children are better off without having a father. No child is. I mean, really, no child is. If you've got a safe, loving parent, you need both those parents. Now, I might not say it seems safe and loving as a man or parent or anything just now to you, but you've had, what, 1 hour of opinion, maybe 5 minutes of an opinion. Maybe you've walked by and you've felt offended, and you've decided that you feel so offended you need to go and cry to someone in a shop rather than going up and speaking like an adult. And you don't come up and speak like an adult because you need to play the victim, because if a child plays the victim, you're going to get angry and upset. And that is what we have now. Women who cannot take any child being in the limelight when they're not in the limelight. We've got all these little vicious feminist boots funded to abuse their own kids, and I'm telling you, the charities, the small percentage of beautiful women and mothers are still here. They're still pressing the like, they're still subscribing, even though I couldn't care less if you like, I couldn't care less if you subscribe, I couldn't care less if you walk out the door and want to have a complaint telling me to go, telling me to be quiet. It's never going to happen. I know you've got things to do in your day. This is the thing that I've got left to do in my day. I woke up this morning, my kids are in their bed. It's been like this for years. Most of you think I deserve it. A small percentage stands by us as fathers and families. And I steal Tesco's lifeline. My name's Joe. This is Unified Pain. If you're a boy, you want to grow up, become a man, be a father. Don't worry about hurting people's feelings when you're going out speaking about the child abuse that your own children have faced by charities that are funded by your local government, by your local council. Don't worry about women or men being offended at the child abuse. You need to stand up and make sure you're standing up for your children. You need to stand up and speak your mind. It doesn't matter if people are going to call you names. It doesn't make a difference if people are going to try and make a fool of you. Every day that's going to happen to you, and every day it means that children have got a wee chance, just a wee chance, to feel a wee bit safer in this community. I grew up in this community. I grew up here. If you want to see the hardest men, I'll know them. If you want to see the weirdest men, I'll know them. If you want to see the family men, where have they gone? Where have they gone? Fathers have taken the right pounding since childhood. Fathers taking a pounding. Fathers are nothing more than drunken drug addicts. That's all we have. And see, if they are drunken drug addicts, you kind of celebrate the fact that they're drunken drug addicts. You have them kiltsing, because you know, most of the deaths that are coming from fathers right now are suicides, and I don't want to see another father commit suicide because he's lost his children, because his children were abused by the women he fell in love with. The women who he had children with abducted his kids and called him a rapist. Then he found out that the charity called Women's Aid wrote a story that he was a rapist. He doesn't like to be called names like that. One day you're going to have to go out and stand up for your kids. One day you're going to have to go and do the right thing for them. It might end up causing you trouble. It might end up making you look a bit foolish, but don't worry about looking foolish in front of a whole lot of fools. Don't worry about looking foolish in front of... This is the weekend. This is coming to the weekend for most people here. This is where they celebrate. I can party. It's the weekend. That's what you get. The weekend of the deal. All the time. And right now, as a father, we're getting the weekend of this deal. I know, if I walked around the corner yesterday, seen a guy from Newcastle sitting there drinking 2 bottles of vodka. Because we'll fund him to get drunk and kill himself. We'll not fund him to be happy and of his family. Matthew, Ava, Daddy loves you. Don't worry about all these sick messages from the paedophile protectors. They get what's coming to them. There's so much more than this physical world here, and we don't see that. I love you. Take care. My name's Joe. All the best.